Good morning, Saints. I'm getting ready to go to a meeting, but I'm going to make some interesting observations to you. I know I told you about the Trump situation where there was a violent, the man's life is in danger, and I believe the man's life is in danger, and also, it's in danger or it could be staged. That's where I'm on the fence with it. And I'll explain it in a minute. And also how there was a violent protest, which I've never seen that before. At a presidential rally, I've never ever seen any protest get violent like that. And someone actually try to attack him, because the man does have a right to freedom of speech, and he has a right to peaceful assembly, so he was violating his constitutional rights. So he does have a right to that. And when you see stuff like that, you know for a fact that's one major confirmations we are in the last days. Now, the observation I wanted to make to you all was that people say, oh, well, you see, there was this annual meeting that the elites had, right, in Georgia. There's a report that I received, the American Enterprise something or the other it's called. And people say, oh, well, they were only talking about Trump this, Trump that, how they need to stop Trump because he's not one of them. In other words, he's not a Satanist or a Mason. And that's not true. He's a known Mason, and he's always flashing up the Baphomet and satanic symbols in public, so that's a lie. I had to sit here and think about this morning, and I prayed on it. The other problem that I have with this, okay, is that, so they lie and they say he's not one of them. He is a Mason, he is a Satanist. The man is not a Christian, he doesn't know his Bible at all. He's not, okay? The other thing I already told you all, the man's telling you all everything you want to hear. So they have a supposed meeting that they want to stop Trump, and he's a threat, and he's this, and he's that. So I got to thinking to myself, first of all, this whole election, something was off. We all know the voting system is a scam. It's controlled by the elites. The reason why it's controlled by the elites is because God allows it. God is Jesus Christ. The elites decide who sits in the White House. And the reason why they get to decide is because God allows it, and it's ultimately God making a decision. Because we all know that America's under judgment already, as is the world. Okay? But America is the head of nations. America was supposed to not only protect Israel, but to lead a world into peace. Instead, they led it into chaos. So America is going to hold more of more of the soldiers on the blood of America's hands. And we all know the other nations are going to pay too, but because America's supposed to be a leading example, America's going to pay the most severe price. So, America meaning the United States. So, supposedly they're talking about Trump, how he's a threat, how he's this, how he's that, how they need to stop him because he's not controllable. Well, I got to thinking, okay, what if they are actually controlling Trump? And you might be like, huh? Give me a second, I'm taking my morning vitamins. I'll explain it in a minute. What if they're actually controlling Trump? What I'm saying is, what if they stage this act? You think the elites, first of all, you think the elites going to let the public know what's being said? They've been hiding it all this time. Why are they going to reveal this? They don't let the public know anything. They don't want them to know or want them to see or hear. The elites will only let you know things that they want you to know. Like false flags or certain events, only things that they want you to know. So you can take that news and spread it. Especially they'll do it among conspiracy theorists. Okay? What if they want you to think that Trump is a major threat? What if they want you to think that? So that way, you can go to the polls, vote for him. Okay? Because all politicians are liars. They speak at the mouth. They deliver these false promises. So what if they want you to vote for him? They make you think he's this threat, this major threat. Why, that they're trying to stop him. Also, you, the voter, can vote for him. You see how they're controlling the voting system? The whole voting system is a scam. I'm just telling you all. But I'm just saying, what if that's what they want? They know that you guys have constitutional rights. They know that, and that you take pride in that. They can't entirely control your constitutional rights, but they can control the voting system, and they do. One of the ways that they'll control it is to sway the elections and the president that they want. Okay? Or, like I said, they'll manipulate the voting tallies to make it where they decide who they want to elect. There was another report how in Florida, Trump's name was not on the ballot. Now, that's not supposed to happen legally, but it's just too coincidental, like they just took his name out of it. People might think it's a setup, they want to stop Trump. But what if they don't want to stop Trump? What if they want you to think he's a threat so you can run to the polls and vote for him? That's one way that the voting system is controlled. Another way is, let's say if the voting doesn't come into the favor of the elites, they will manipulate, fraudulently, they will manipulate the voting counts so the votes goes in the favor of who they want to sit in the White House. Bottom line is, whoever they want in the White House, whether it's Trump or another candidate, it's going to be worse than Obama. Bottom line is, that's what God wants, because this country's under judgment. Jesus Christ wants whoever's sitting in the White House to be way worse than Obama. Trump is not a saint. Something is off about him. He is not a Christian man. He is a tyrant, and he's worse than Obama, and I can tell by the way this man runs his business. There's reports that he has these sweatshops out of the United States that you guys don't know about. You guys can research it yourself. He is a tyrant. There are former employees of his that can attest to that. You don't know. All you see is this guy outside. You don't know how he is. If you go to the polls and you vote for him, don't say I didn't warn you. All I'm saying is, I already explained to you, regardless of who you vote for, that they want whatever president's going to be worse than Trump. I mean, worse than Obama in the White House. So let's say if they find somebody else that's worse than Trump, they'll get Trump out of the election. Notice how these candidates are dropping out of the race because they didn't fit what the elite was looking for. So now they only have a few candidates in the running, including Trump. I'm not trying to scare you guys. I just had to sit here and think about it. That man seems too good to be true. People keep saying he's what America needs, he's what this, he's what that, but you keep forgetting about Bible prophecy. About how Bible prophecy says that in the last days, okay, in the last days, it explains how when the signs of Jesus is coming, the nations will rise against nation, and that God was going to send a dark king to this land, here, Babylon, and other nations, okay, and basically, I'm paraphrasing, he was going to be a tyrant. Not only that, he was going to send a people here, foreign people, where the locals were going to serve those people. And, excuse me one second. And where the locals were going to serve these foreign people, look at this Muslim invasion that's happening. That's part of God's judgment, okay? You're going to see a lot of those Muslims here. Okay? So, I'm not trying to scare you people. I'm just saying that something just doesn't seem right with this whole thing. With everything with Obama, I mean Trump, it doesn't seem right. I'm putting my contact lenses on. It doesn't seem right. Something is just off. He is too good to be true, and People don't have discernment to see that. Lots of people. I have brothers and sisters in Christ email us, are you going to vote for him? Are you going to vote for him? No. I don't trust him. I don't trust any of the candidates. Okay? None of them. You know? I'm going to give you a synopsis here. Trump is talking about Mexico is going to pay, he's going to make Mexico pay to build this wall around America. Notice the operative word being make. He's going to make them. Make them? He's going to make them, really? He's going to make them. When you try to force someone to do something they don't want to do, and you use force, you're going to make them, that's tyrannical. This man is worse than Obama. I'm just saying. You might say, oh, no, he's not, no, he's not, no, he's not. You don't see it, but he's worse than Obama. Now, the elites want you to think he's a major threat. Alright, I'm not saying Trump is going to be a president. But all I'm saying is, so far, he's what the elites are looking for. Whoever's left in the running is what the elites are looking for. So, if Obama does not stay in office, because I told you all, Obama's going to be the last president. Meaning, either he's going to suspend elections, which I believe he was planning to do that, and state that as fact, or, dissolve Congress, or there's going to be a president worse than him that's literally a dictator that will, in fact, I believe, I'm not stating it's fact, dissolve Congress, suspend the Constitution, and dissolve the election system where there will never ever be another voting or election again. So, I'm not going to the polls. I'm not voting for anyone. Okay, I'm not exercising that right because it's a scam anyway. Okay, and you might think, oh, well, we need somebody in the White House. Well, all of those punks that you see on the GOP, none of them are fit to run a country. None of them. And I suppose that's going to be the way that it's going to be. God's not going to pick a King David for this nation or a King Solomon. Okay, he's not going to do that. Or another righteous king of old. He's not going to do that. In the last days, it's going to be an evil king, a dark one, as prophesied in the book of Daniel, as prophesied all over the scriptures. And it's going to be a king that is worse than the one that we have now. King meaning leader, Obama. It's going to be worse. It's either going to be Obama, or he will stay in office, or it's going to be somebody completely worse. This country doesn't deserve any kind of justice or reprieve because it turned it back on God. So, come November 2016, you're going to remember my words, you're going to pull up this video, and you're going to play it again. The reason why I say that, because you're going to be like, she was right, and a few others that warned you all. Whoever, remember these words, whoever is left running in the GOP, in the presidential candidacy, is the candidates that the elites are looking for to be the next president. And I already told you all what they do to control the voting. You know, the college electoral process. Not only that, primaries, winning primaries across the nation so they can be nominated. The process to go through so these presidents can be nominated to be a presidential candidate, they control that. They decide who gets nominated. And then after that, they decide who gets to sit in the White House because God allows it. Now what they also do, as I already told you how they control the voting system. They will make it seem like one president is very appealing so you can use your constitutional rights and vote for that person. Or if it's not in their favor as to who they want, they will manipulate the votes so they can make sure that they get who they want to sit in the White House. The whole voting thing is a scam, period. Now you know we are in the last days. Seek God on this. Seek Jesus Christ, and He'll show you, just like He showed me.